Hope y'all are doing fantastic. I'm not really doing fantastic because I'm having a tough time figuring out which teams to trust and which ones to not trust. Look, there are a lot of boomer bust teams out there. I understand that. But honestly, when I'm picking someone, I want to feel like I can trust them. I can envision them, that they'll come through for me, Like I'm pretty confident that Houston's going to come through for me, at least for a little while, just because of their defensive intensity, their shot making this year. Same with Duke. I'm pretty confident they'll come through for me here. And other teams like Tennessee. I just have a feeling that Tennessee is going to come through for me. These four teams, however, I've just been skeptical on for the whole entire year. I'm not saying I don't trust these teams. I'm just saying I'm not sure if I do or if I don't trust them. And my trust meters are going to go from really high or higher with the first one to really pretty low with the last one. And these are all 1 or 2 seeds who I'm not sure I trust that much. Take this video with a grain of salt, y'all. Number 1 is injured teams. I don't really trust this that much. Obviously, there's some injuries that, the guy's fine. Like, I'm sure Cooper Flagg's ankle will be fine. But, teams that have, like, these lingering injuries, like the Tyrese Hunter injury, the Adu Thero injury, injuries where coaches are like, he's questionable to play, or they're trying to, like, force him back after a long time. Like, I'm just not sure. Or if they've lost a major player throughout the year. I don't know. Injuries just stink. And, pushing guys through injuries or guys playing through injuries is very noble. But a lot of the time, unless it's like the Michael Jordan flu game, you're not really going to get the best performances out of guys who are injured. So get that out of the way first. Up first, I trust this team, but there's a little bit of skepticism there, which is why I'm not sure I can pick them for my national tournament team, national championship team. It's Florida. And I've given 3 reasons why. These are pretty arbitrary reasons, and these could completely swing in my way, but these are things that I kind of view as like a little bit of a red flag, I would say. Like a yellow flag, maybe. The little tourney experience that Florida has. I know Elijah Martin's been to a Final Four before. Other guys have been in the tournament before, but the majority of the guys on the roster haven't made it past the first round. Like Walter Clayton, Condon, Haw, Richard, like all those guys, they've been before, but last year they lost to Colorado in the first round as a 7 seed. So not sure how they'll fare. I like teams with a little bit more tournament experience, but not the end all be all. Same with this one. He's an amazing coach, but Todd Golden, if you tell me Florida is going to win the national championship, you mean that Todd Golden is going to be holding the national championship trophy at the end of the year? And I'm just not sure if I see it. The last few national championship winning coaches are like Dan Hurley, Scott Drew, Bill Self, Coach K. Those are the guys who you think of that, get onto the mountaintop. I could even see like a Bruce Pearl or a Kelvin Sampson getting to it, but Todd Golden's still kind of new to the coaching scene. And even though he's broken out this year as one of the top coaches in college basketball, I just don't know if I see him winning it all. And like, he's still a very young coach. I just don't know. And then the third point is they are red hot, like to the point where I feel as if when you're too red hot, like it can be a little jarring. Like if you start missing some shots or, what I'm saying? Like they've been destroying teams, especially in the SEC tournament where they just stomped all over their opponents on the way to the championship. Like they've been the best team in college basketball for the past 2 weeks by a long shot, in my opinion. And that's kind of scary to me because I don't know. I feel as if they've just been playing out of their minds, if you understand me a little bit. And sometimes I know when I'm playing basketball and God forbid I hit a couple of shots, start heating up a little bit, and then I try to press a little too much, and then I just go cold. So that's Florida. Still have confidence in them. Still have confidence in St. John's as well. It's wavering a little bit, though. Same thing. As Pitino said, pretty much all their guys don't have any tournament experience. It's Rick Pitino's second year with the program. They play in the Big East, which, obviously teams can come out of the Big East and win it all. But I'm just saying that the second best team in the Big East by seed is a 7 seed. That's just, I'm not saying the Big East is bad. Big East is a very tough conference, and I enjoyed watching all their games this year. And it was very good competition, but it's certainly not in the top 2 conferences. Probably number 3 or number 4, if you ask me. But I think it goes SEC at the very top, and then Big 12, and then a little bit of a drop off. And there's just some offensive questions. They're like number 60 or number 50 or number 70 in offensive, even though they're the number 1 defense in the nation. Offensively, they can go cold at spurts. They don't shoot the 3 very well. So a little concerned about St. John's there. Then we got Auburn. I was going to say St. John's kind of reminds me of the Marquette team last year, a team that I picked to go all the way, but kind of stumbled a little bit when they couldn't hit a shot. This team, I don't think we have to be worried about not hitting a shot. Auburn, I've just been questioning Auburn really all year. Even when they were at the top, I still wasn't ready to anoint them as number 1 yet. And especially down the stretch, they've been losing some games a little bit. I know they've had injury concerns with Broom and Jones, who are healthy now. I probably should have put on this list Chad Baker-Mazara, because as we saw last year, he can fly off the handle and get ejected from a game at times. But it's very big-centric offense. I think their best 2 players. I would put Mazara in there, but I really like Broom and Dylan Cardwell and like Chaney Johnson down low. And obviously, if you need a bucket, you're going to go to Broom, right? Duh. Why not go to the first team All-American? But, I feel as if the March Madness is kind of a guard-oriented tournament. In the past, it has been a little bit. So that's a little interesting. And then just some guard questions. I'm not sure if the guard position is really that much better than it was last year, when they lost to Yale. I know it's a hot take, but Todd Pettiford is very good. Don't get me wrong, but he can go cold at times. He's also not the greatest, point like floor general in the world. Same with Miles Kelly. He can be baited into taking some bad shots, I've noticed. Who else is there who plays guard? Denver Jones is a really good defender, but he struggles with his shot sometimes, I feel. And then Baker-Mazara, of course. He's kind of a wild card. But yeah, just some questions of the guard spot, especially after Bruce Pearl said that his guards aren't blanks. Like when he said that on ESPN the other day, I was like, I don't know, man. That wouldn't be putting like a target on your back or something like that, or like a knock on wood moment, But anyway, still think Auburn has potential to be great, but But the team I have least confidence in is Michigan State. And no offense to Michigan State fans out there, but obviously I respect your program and I respect the season that y'all have had. And Izzo is incredible in March. But I'm just very skeptical when I watch the makeup of this team. They don't really have any big men that are good in my eyes. Like Kohler has had some good games, but I wouldn't really consider Jackson Kohler or Carson Cooper like top big, And then Jace Richardson is incredible, but I'm not sure how much I trust him, down the stretch. Like he's kind of their go-to scoring guy, but he's also only averaging like 12 points a game. That is a product of the minutes that he's had somewhat, but I'm just not sure, they got the guy that can like get a bucket off the bounce when it's needed. They also struggle shooting from the outside, which is something to keep an eye on. And I just put Big Ten. I was kind of unimpressed with the Big Ten in the Big Ten tournament. Just me, though. But hey, any teams out there that you might not trust as much going into March? Not saying to not pick either of these teams. There's a chance that all 4 of these teams could win a national championship, and I look stupid. Let's